What is going on, guys? I am BlackOpsAmazing. Welcome back to another zombies video on the channel. Back today with an interesting video that I wanted to make. It's not exactly a Q&A, but I found a very interesting theory on Reddit to do with Dr. Monty, the Elders, and possibly the BO4 zombies image as well. And it was that interesting that I thought, you know what, I'm gonna make a video on this to see what you guys think. As always, if you enjoyed today's video, you know what to do by now. Drop a like rating. You don't have to if you don't want to, but could we shoot for? I've been lately setting the goal of about 1.5k likes. You guys seem to always easily hit that, so if we could shoot for 2k likes on this video, I don't know if it could be done, but that'd be awesome. Make sure that you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest zombies content. Also click that bell notification icon as well. But with that out of the way, let's get into it. Here we go. So I was scrolling through Twitter just the other day and I remembered a tweet that Johnny J put out where he basically said that he wasn't convinced by the Baldwin theory that had been going around. If you don't know what he's on about, I did a video on that on my channel. Basically, this guy here, a lot of people think that this may be King Baldwin. So I thought that's interesting. I haven't really seen anyone go against this yet. So I thought I'd check out his video, and in there he talks a lot about the Elders. Now, this got me confused because I'd heard of the Elders before in our zombie storyline, but I couldn't remember where from and what exactly they were. And that was because we'd only ever heard of them really once in our zombie storyline, and that was all the way back in the beginning of Black Ops 3 in Shadows of Evil, where there was a cipher. This was it up on screen now. Once translated, it said the Elders will continue to seed space and time. I must lead them to the place they cannot see. I then thought, okay, but what exactly are the Elders? The definition for an Elder is a person who is older than one, or a leader or senior figure in a tribe or other group. So that's the definition for Elder. But whilst reading about this, I also came across this really interesting Reddit where this person by the name of Talam Gaming came up with a really interesting theory to do with the Elders and Dr. Monty. Now, we kind of have the idea that Dr. Monty is a god by all the things that he can do, but he says in this theory, what could Dr. Monty be? Could he be an apothecary? A keeper? They're powerful, and we know that Dr. Monty is powerful, but Dr. Monty seems more powerful than either of them. He even said for himself, free will, that was my idea. And he also said that he's been watching over all of the universes. So I decided to go through all of the ciphers, quotes and radios and all of the maps looking for something, and I found this. It was a cipher from Shadows of Evil that isn't only found once but twice in the map, and it reads, the Elders will continue to seed time and space. I must lead them to the place they cannot see. And I thought, why is this cipher so important to Treyarch that they have to put it in the same map twice? Then I realised that we'd never actually heard of any character being called an Elder. And if you look into any other fiction stories that have Elders, the Elders are always these omnipotent beings. And who else in our storyline is this omnipotent being? Well, that's Dr. Monty. Not only this though, Monty says for himself, he says, all I can really do is give things a little nudge, sow a seed, plant an idea, see what grows, see what sticks. And where else have we heard something very similar to this? Well, that was in the cipher that we've just mentioned from Shadows of Evil, in which it said the Elders will continue to seed time and space. Finally, the cipher says Elders, not Elder. It's plural, so where's the other ones? There's also another cipher that says M is interested in these worthless beings. All of his work will be undone. X. Right here we have a mention of M, or Monty, but we also hear about X. Who exactly is X? Is X one of the other Elders? And not only this, we also hear Monty say again, free will was my idea, like if someone else had a say. Free will was his idea, and other ideas were the works of other Elders. So that is the whole theory that this person put up, and you have to admit it is very interesting because yes, these were all ciphers that we found in Shadows of Evil, and since we've gone all the way now through DLC 4 all the way to Revelations, Black Ops 3 is well and truly over. I feel like we haven't gone back and taken a look at this, especially the ciphers in Shadows, because those were, in my opinion, some of the most interesting ones that don't really have a meaning. And well, he's exactly right. There was a cipher in Shadows of Evil that said, the Elders will continue to seed space and time. I must lead them to a place they cannot see. But what was interesting about this is that yes, you could find this exact same cipher twice throughout Shadows of Evil. This wasn't a mistake by Treyarch. For some reason they put this cipher in there twice. This has never been done throughout COD Zombies, it's only in there once, that's all we needed, but for some reason, this one was in Shadows of Evil in 2 different locations, twice. Which, as he says, could possibly mean that Treyarch feels that this cipher is important. They definitely wanted us to come across it. But what exactly does it mean? As I said, the definition of elder is a leader or a senior figure in a tribe or other group. That for me pretty much links into Dr. Monty. He kind of is the leader or the senior figure. He is essentially a god, but it says in a tribe or another group. Meaning if Dr. Monty is an elder, then he belongs to a tribe or a group of other elders. And like the cipher says, it says elders, not elder, meaning there are more than one. There is more than one person in this group that Dr. Monty is in, but so far we've only seen him. I guess the other powerful figure in our storyline is the Shadow Man, but as far as we know, he's not in the same tribe or group that Dr. Monty would be in. Dr. Monty's good, the Shadow Man is bad, he's an apothecary. So this cipher's telling us that there's more than one person in this same group that Monty's in. And usually if you take a look back at old mythology, whenever you have gods, there's more than one. In Greek mythology, there's more than one god. In Egyptian mythology, there's more than one god. It's only in recent times, Christianity, there's only one god. But going back to the olden times, there was hundreds of gods. And what this cipher could be telling us is that there's also hundreds of gods or elders besides from Dr. Monty that we haven't met yet. And also, as he mentions, there was another cipher that says M is interested in these worthless beings. All his work must be undone. X. Obviously M is Monty, but who is X? We never found out. If M is the initial for Monty, then X must be the initial for someone else. And X could be another elder, another god that we haven't heard from yet. Monty also said things like, free will, that was my idea. Well, obviously if he's a god, that was his idea, but him saying that makes it sound like, well, other things that have happened were the ideas of other elders. So that's very interesting. Like I said, we only ever heard this once and it was in Shadows of Evil, but it was strange that we actually saw this cipher twice. Obviously they wanted us to notice this, and what it could have been telling us was that, and we hadn't really noticed it up until now, but it was the fact that Dr. Monty is one of the elders and there are actually more out there like him. There are more gods out there that we haven't heard from yet. And you could also possibly link this into the BO40, so we see this person in the background on this image. He's obviously very mysterious. He's putting this mask over his face. Well, what if this is one of the other elders that we have yet to hear from? We have M, who was Monty. Well, what if this person is X? Could this be one of the other elders in the tribe that Monty belongs to? Another god? We don't know. I honestly thought this was really interesting. Definitely check it out for yourself. I'll link it down in the description. But this was something I hadn't thought about before, at least not in this way. And that was because they hadn't mentioned the elders for some strange reason. You'd think Treyarch would have brought the elders up a lot more, but they didn't. It was only really mentioned once in Shadows of Evil. And I guess you could say, well, what's also interesting about this cipher is it says the elders will continue to seed time and space, but it then says I must lead them to a place they cannot see. So whoever's writing this is saying they must lead the gods, the elders, Monty and X, to a place where whoever's writing this can't be found. They are trying to hide from Monty and the other elders. Now, I don't exactly know what they could be on about here, but this kind of reminded me of a cipher that we found in Revelations. It was from D, who I would presume is Dempsey, and the cipher said, I am the last of us, but I will be joining you soon, my friends. Cough cough, death is near. I hope what we have done doesn't come back to bite this universe in the ass. Thank God we will all be gone, because if Monty ever found this place, we would be in a world of shit. Maybe now, with us all gone, the children will truly be safe. D. What this person, like I said, I presume this is Dempsey, is saying, well, they're telling us that not only is he dying, but he's done something to hide from Dr. Monty. He says, thank God we will all be gone, because if Monty ever found this place, we would be in a world ton of shit. So clearly Dempsey, maybe along with Richtof and Takio and Nikolai, I don't know, maybe they're dead, I have no idea, but it seems like he's hiding in a universe from Monty. I have no idea why. It seems like he's done it to save the children, but he says if Monty ever founds this universe that he's in, if Monty ever finds him, then he'd be in a world ton of shit. And going back to that cipher in Shadows of Evil, it says, the elders will continue to seed space and time, I must lead them to a place they cannot see. The cipher talks about leading the elders, Dr. Monty and the other gods, to a place they cannot see, and this cipher in Revelations talks about hiding from Dr. Monty. So possibly there could also be a link here. In Shadows of Evil, they're trying to lead Monty to somewhere that they cannot see, somewhere they won't be able to find them, I guess, and in Revelations it says they're hiding in a universe from Dr. Monty, a place where hopefully he won't be able to find them. This honestly is definitely interesting. We've always had the idea, I've said this thousands of times before, that possibly Dr. Monty is evil. Yes, he has come across as good, but we've always had that inkling that he could be evil, and judging by this cipher in Shadows of Evil, for some reason we have to lead the elders to a place they cannot see. Why would you want to hide from them if they're good and trying to help you? And again, by the cipher in Revelations, where it talks about Dempsey having to hide from Monty, and if he finds them, they're going to be in a world ton of shit. And it also talks about keeping the children safe, possibly from him. Well, all of that doesn't sound like Monty is good. It actually sounds like, well, he's after them and trying to kill them. And we did also see signs of that in Revelations, where he tried to wipe them from existence, but instead didn't, and sent them back to the Age of Primus. But I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to let you guys put your comments, ideas and theories in the comment section below. As always, hopefully you have enjoyed. We have Black Ops 4 Zombies tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. Subscribe, make sure you click that bell notification icon, drop a like rating if you have enjoyed, and of course I will see you all in the next video. Until then, goodbye.